All right, welcome everybody. We are on episode 13?
Episode 13.
Reliving the Lights, Friday Night Lights Rewatch Podcast. I'm Josh Kuipers. This is Anthony Hookman.
Hello.
We are excited to talk about this episode. Anthony, while we were not recording, you revealed to me, as mentioned last week, the secret Broncos mojito recipe with the Anthony Hookman twist on it. Are you feeling any regret for spilling the secret?
A little bit of guilt. I don't think Rick or Dave will listen to this podcast, so I think they'll be okay with me spreading it. I mean, you know, how many? It's not like we're revealing it on the show, so I think a little sharing between friends is probably fine. But I feel a little bit of guilt, but not too much. It won't. I'll sleep soundly tonight.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, I'll probably tell my wife. She likes a good mojito.
Who knows how far it's going to go then? All right.
Yeah,
I guess
I can't. Once
you're making me feel more guilty about it.
Those are the benefits of marriage, right? Like no secrets whatsoever.
That's true.
And I can't control it once it gets into her hands. So no promises, but I appreciate your trust. I'll do my best to keep it concealed. Yeah, we are excited to talk about this episode.
Yes.
This is a good time. I had a good time while watching this. I laughed out loud multiple times. Maybe not harder than I laughed out loud at Buddy Garrity thanking God for the Panthers win and praying for playoffs in state, but I had a very good time watching this episode.
Agreed.
So, what are you drinking for this episode?
Well, we've got the patented Bronco Mojito with the Anthony Hookman twist.
Yeah, right on.
My own secret recipe that's slowly becoming not a secret at all.
I know exactly what that is. Good deal. I have the aforementioned Kuiper special. I've talked about that before. So a little Bloody Mary mix, little Busch Light, pickle. We're doing good. All right. Let's get right into it because I'm excited to talk about this.
Let's dig in. Episode 13.
Yes.
Little Girl, I Want to Marry You, named after a Bruce Springsteen song. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No, I did not catch that. I am not as big of a Bruce fan as you are, but do you have is it Movie Dude 1?
I sure do. There is one by Movie Dude 1. There's another one by Preston Hahn.
We better get them both, and we're going to decide which is better.
So the first one listed is the Preston Hahn description, so we'll start with his. And we'll save our friend Movie Dude 1 for last. Smash's mom finds his steroids and reports them to Coach Taylor, forcing the coach to bench Smash for the next game. Matt's dad is recalled to Iraq, leaving Matt to once again take care of his grandma. Lyla's dad sets her up with a date, and Jason gets upset. That last sentence is ridiculous in a lot of ways, but not the least of which is that the guy spelled Lyla wrong.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Preston, I really thought I could count on you. I thought you could be our new Movie Dude 1, but I guess we'll...
yeah. Those are big shoes.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Movie Dude 1, when Smash's mother finds his needle, she puts the coach...
Okay. All right. All right, Movie Dude 1. All right.
Start over again. That one took us by surprise. When Smash's mother finds his needle, she puts the coach in an uncomfortable position, and Tami gets a new job offer, which makes the coach even more uncomfortable. Matt's father gets recalled to duty, and Jason ponders his decision about his relationship with Lyla and Tyra. Oh, hold on. Sorry, there's no comma in there. This formatting. Matt's father gets recalled to duty, and Jason ponders his decision about his relationship with Lyla, and Tyra tries to help her mom get over her last woman-beating boyfriend. Oh. Movie Dude 1, I didn't think that you could be worse than Preston Hahn, but wow.
Oh, Movie Dude 1.
Big yikes.
Man, I'm interested to see if Preston Hahn keeps it up. if he finally just got so fed up with Movie Dude 1's plot summary.
I gotta look now because both of them spelled Lyla Lila, and I swear it's Lyla.
I can never keep it straight, and I know you have strong opinions about it.
According to IMDb, they say Lyla.
Okay. Yep, Minka Kelly, Lyla Garrity. You're right. Lyla. That's how I spell it.
Yeah,
so
same.
All right, so if we have to choose between Preston Hahn and Movie Dude 1, we're taking Preston Hahn, right?
Boy, it's like choosing Donald Trump or Joe Biden, I guess. So we got to pick one.
Yeah, lesser of two evils, I guess, in this case, is Preston Hahn. All right. Again, I think we should be submitting our own, but
I think we should do. And what happened to NBC Universal who did the one?
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. It was good.
And it seems like it varies from episode to episode on IMDb, whether there are like quotes submitted and trivia submitted and all of that. Like, it's very inconsistent. So,
yeah. But I guess that's the trouble with user submitted content.
Yep. So you're right. It might not be great, but Movie Dude 1 has done more than we have for the plot summaries.
That's true.
So who are we to talk?
Yep. We're in no position. That's for sure.
All right, little girl, I want to marry you. This episode starts off with, don't you just love every scene of the Taylors in the car together?
Yes.
It's good every time. Yeah,
always
it's great.
Magic.
So the Taylors are in the car. They're listening to radio psychologist Dr. Q. And Coach is complaining about listening to Dr. Q instead of Sammy Mead. Slamming Sammy Mead.
Slamming Sammy.
But Tami and Julie are very adamant that, no, we are listening to this. And Dr. Q's parting advice, the last thing we hear on the radio is, you are in control of your destiny. And we cut to practice, and Coach is giving an inspirational speech with the line, you are in control of your destiny. So as much as he fights it and complains about Dr. Q, he is incorporating her sage advice.
Yes, he gets something out of it, which we love to see.
Yeah. So kind of a comical beginning, but we don't stay long in the comical place.
Right. Yeah. Well, we find out there's a big game on Friday.
Yeah.
And if the Panthers win, they go to the playoffs. Now, if you listened last week, you know that there was a big game between Arnett, Meade, and Buckley, where if Buckley won, the Panthers would go to the playoffs. Buckley won.
Buckley won. So theoretically, the Panthers are in.
They should already be in.
In Smash words, they're going to state.
They're going to reach those unimaginable new heights.
Right. But no, let's, that wasn't dramatic enough for episode 13. So now they got to win another game against, who are they against?
I am not sure. I must have it written down somewhere.
All right. We'll figure that out later. But they gotta win the game in order to get to the playoffs. So just like basically every single game of the season thus far, this game has playoff implications. Mama Smash, she is cleaning her high school son's room. Oh, you got
Before
something
we
else.
get to that,
yep.
I do want to mention there's a nice interaction between Coach and Mac.
Oh yes,
Mac McGill.
Yeah. I didn't write this down, but I hoped you did. I remember that.
Where Coach or Mac says, "Hey, Coach, did you hear Slam and Sammy this morning?" Coach says, "No, I didn't. My wife and daughter had some self-help guru on," and Mac goes, "Dr. Q," and Coach says, "You know her?" And he goes, "I live by her."
Yeah, Mac McGill, big Dr. Q fan. Right on. Which we find out later if Mac McGill's worldviews are reflected by Dr. Q. Maybe not the best advice to be listening to.
Yeah.
Mac McGill's got some questionable views on things. But anyway, that's for a later time.
We'll get there eventually.
Yep. Mama Smash, she is cleaning her high school son's room. She's not too excited about it. Cleaning up after Smash, and she finds the steroids.
She finds his needle.
Oh, yeah.
To quote Movie Dude 1.
She finds his needle. She is not happy. She heads straight to the school, straight into the locker room, presumably with undressed teenage boys, and grabs Smash, drags him into the coach's office, and demands an explanation from Coach.
She thinks Coach is.
Yeah, she thinks he's behind it.
Dope. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Coach has put her precious young Smash up to
innocent, sweet Brian.
Yes, Brian. Brian. And to Smash's credit, he tries to explain that Coach had nothing to do with it. Mama Smash won't let him get a word in edgewise, and Coach assures her he knows nothing about this. So Coach is
not until that point that Coach says, "I did not know anything about this." That Mama Smash finally comes to terms with the truth.
Yes,
that her son is doping on his own.
Yes, obviously devastated. This is a big hit for Mama Smash. And obviously this is one of the main plot points here, so we will get into it more. We cut to Buddy. There's some family friends in town. And
yes, Garrity family dinner.
Yes. He explains to Lyla that the Johnston family, which is an old family of the Garritys, they're in town. Ty Johnston, who's a college boy, is writing a paper about football and cheerleaders or something
the psychology.
Like that.
He's a psychology major. He's writing something about psychology between football and cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And Buddy Garrity, in one fell swoop, both using the outdated reference of the week, I'll say.
Buddy.
By saying they're going to have a date at that new Oriental place.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Even for 2006, Buddy.
Not
2007, good. Sorry, Buddy. Not okay. He basically sets Lyla up on a date with this Ty Johnston kid, supposedly to talk about the paper, for his research paper, but everyone can kind of see beyond that. But Lyla kind of agrees to it ish. We see Coach and Tami kind of debating what to do about the Smash situation. Yeah,
Coach is really in a dilemma.
Yeah, if he doesn't report this Smash using steroids to the athletic commission, he could lose his job and everything he's worked for. But if he does report Smash's steroid use to the athletic commission, Smash is basically done.
Also would cancel the games that he played, right?
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Because they really don't know how far back it went.
Yeah, that's true. So once again, and much like the voodoo situation, in a very tight spot with what to do. We see basically everyone is at the diner in the next scene. There's the Colette ladies are there. Tim Riggins is at the diner.
Yeah, just
Lyla and
from
Jason
a distance.
at the diner. Yeah, Tim is just basically giving his eyes at the Colette table.
Yeah.
But Becky and Tyra and Mama Colette, whatever her name is, we haven't figured that out yet, are talking about kind of Mama Colette needing a job. You know, things are tight. They don't have a man to take care of them anymore. And it comes up that there's an open receptionist job at Buddy Garrity's car dealership.
Yes.
She's not very qualified for that, but hey, it's worth a shot. Tim is making eyes at him.
As we find later in the episode, perhaps she's very qualified for the job.
At least for what Buddy's looking for.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yes. Lyla and Jason are there. They are kind of going back and forth, arguing about the date with Ty Johnston, that Buddy set Lyla up on. And Lyla goes to talk to some friends real quick. And while she does that, Tyra comes over and questions Jason on why he's still with Tyra.
Yeah,
why he's still with Lyla.
Yeah, gives him kind of the third degree, says, what are you still doing with her, after what she put you through? And
right. And Lyla comes back. Tyra and Lyla have a little back and forth, little thing going on between them. And all of a sudden, Tyra is very supportive of her mother working for Lila's father. So we see Coach and Tami, they are over at Mayor Rodell's house.
Yes. Big, weird reveal.
Yes.
Because at this point, and I guess maybe it's only weird because it's 2020 that I'm watching it in.
Right. Yeah.
Because to me, it seemed more like a presentation. It didn't occur to me until later on when Coach and Tami are talking about it that this was like a scandalous thing. But that we find out that Mayor Rodell is secretly a lesbian.
Yes.
And in what appears to be like a pretty long-term relationship.
Yeah, a very committed, like serious relationship. And I got the uncomfortable vibes from Coach and Tami right away in this. Like, it is revealed to be scandalous later on, but it is very apparent that they're like, whoa, okay, I don't know what to do with this situation. But in that meeting that this is revealed, Mayor Rodell asked Tami to support her re-election bid.
Yeah, basically to join the campaign team.
Yeah, we don't really get a firm decision on this right then.
No answer yet.
Yep.
Jump back to the Smash household.
Yep.
Smash and Mama Smash get into a big argument, and she kicks him out of the house.
Yes.
I do want to have a short sidebar here.
Okay.
Because the closing shot of this scene is Mama Smash, and there's a picture of Smash in the background. I don't know if you noticed this.
Yeah.
There's a weird headshot of Smash, of Gaius Charles. I'm pretty sure it's like his IMDb headshot.
It is, absolutely.
In the background. It's very bizarre and seems extremely out of place. Like, it is not the kind of picture that you would hang up on in your family household walls.
I seriously remember us talking about this the very first time we went through the series back in whatever that was, 2007 or 2008, whatever. I remember us talking about this and laughing about it.
Yeah, it is
in this moment.
The strangest picture that you could have if it was an actual family member. Like, it's just so bizarre.
Yeah, he is in his Dillon Panthers uniform, right?
He is. He's
but
in
it's
the Dillon
weird,
Panthers uniform. But it's the shot is weird. It almost looks like
it's like they took the headshot and then superimposed the Dillon Panthers jersey on him.
Yeah. I think it's clearly him in pads and in the jersey, but it's just so, I don't know. It's such a bizarre photo. And even when that scene was happening, it's a very serious scene. And I kind of saw it and I chuckled.
Yeah, you got pulled out of it.
And Angie was like, "Are you laughing about the photo?" So it's a bizarre photo.
Yeah.
To have hanging up. It's not the kind of, like I said, it's not like it's a senior picture.
Right.
And it's not it literally just looks like a professional headshot. Like if you were applying to colleges and was like, this is what I look like in a uniform. That's literally what it looks like.
Sure.
It's very bizarre. It's such a strange photo.
Yeah.
Like I said, not the kind of photo it doesn't look like he's posing for it. I think that's the thing that is about it is it doesn't look like it's a photo that's posed for necessarily.
Uh-huh.
It looks like maybe the picture that the local newspaper took of him and that they decided to like frame. Like that's the vibe that it gives me. It's just, it's so strange.
It does. I noticed it right away too. Sticks out. Yeah, for sure. Pulls you right out of it, much like it pulled us right out of this plot summary.
Yes.
But, Smash, gets kicked out of the house. We see him sleeping in his car. He goes to Coach the next morning, goes to see Coach, and Coach is obviously very irate with the situation.
Yeah, he is not thrilled. They have kind of a little chat, and I think this is the scene where Coach kind of lets him know, like, hey, like, my ass is on the line. Like, this isn't just a decision that you made for you.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just you didn't make a mistake. You basically potentially, put your whole life down the trash.
Right. And my life down the trash.
Yeah.
Because this can potentially make me lose my job. I've got a wife and a kid to provide for, and this is how I do that. So real quick, we see Tyra's mom is sad about missing Bob.
Yeah.
Still. The job prospect doesn't look good. They've had 100 applicants apparently for the Buddy Garrity receptionist job. And people are just knocking down the doors to be Buddy Garrity's receptionist.
Employment is in a weird place in Dillon.
Apparently, yeah. So she's very bummed. She hasn't really like moved forward with that because it's like, well, what's the point? So we go back to Coach. He announces to the team that Smash is not going to be playing in the game on Friday night. This game that has playoff implications.
Yes.
So he will not be playing. He'll be sitting out. We see the Saracen family. Grandma Saracen's trying to get some dirt out of Julie about Smash.
She's getting into some conspiracy theories.
Right.
For sure about what's going on with Smash. Asking questions. And she's like, asking Julie.
Yeah. If only we had an insider with information. Yeah. Julie's not Julie. Yeah. Julie doesn't have any info.
But Matt is watching game film and he finds a flaw in the opponent's defense.
Yes. He gets really excited about this. His dad, Henry, in true Henry fashion, is like, Matt, why don't you just let the coach be the coach and whatever. But Matt's very excited. He feels like he's found, a hole in the defense. But then he finds out that his dad's not going to be at the game on Friday.
Yeah. He says, you just wait, Dad. On Friday, you'll see me just, beating down this defense with these plays that I'm going to create. And Matt's dad, reveals at that time that he will not be attending the game because he will be leaving for Iraq on Friday before the game. However, Grandma Saracen has a potential fix to this.
Yeah.
Because they can watch the Super Bowl in Iraq. They can probably watch this game. And honestly, I think this is meant to be like, oh, Grandma doesn't understand how technology works. But I think if freaking Buddy Garrity was able to watch the Buckley Arnett Meade game somehow outdoors,
the rodeo fair thing.
Why not? We could get the Dillon Panthers in Iraq.
Never mind the travel time that it's going to take for Henry to get from the United States to Iraq. He's leaving on Friday sometime. But Grandma Saracen's pretty confident that he'll be able to see it anyway. But once again, Dad Saracen has just decided, I'm going to Iraq. Never mind.
His superior officer. Extremely confused. Okay, you're coming. You're not coming. You're coming. All the while, Matt's dad gets the choice of whether or not he stays in America or goes back to Iraq.
Yep, that's how it works. Definitely. We see Tami and Coach talking about the Mayor Riddell situation, making much of her, quote, alternative lifestyle.
Yes.
It's a major point in the deliberations, at least for Coach.
And while they're having this conversation, there's a knock at the door.
Yes.
And we get, I think, my choice for quote of the week.
It's going to be hard to beat for sure.
Mrs. Coach saying, "Honey, if that is Buddy Garrity, I swear to God, I will go down there with your new deer rifle."
Yes. Yeah, like I said, that's going to be hard to beat. Tami threatening to shoot up Buddy Garrity.
Tami Taylor quotes about Buddy Garrity remain undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. Turns out it's not Buddy Garrity. It's Smash. He wants to know if he's off the team. He knows he's not playing on Friday, but am I off the team? And Coach basically tells him to go away and just keep his mouth shut about the whole thing, and he'll let him know when he knows. We see Coach getting questioned about Smash at a press conference. And then afterwards, Buddy Garrity pressing him for info. Yeah. And I mean, we said it's going to be hard to beat Tami for the quote of the week, but Buddy puts up a good fight here.
As I say, I don't know if you wrote down his quote. I didn't, but I did laugh at it and was hoping that you wrote it down because the only reason I didn't write it down was because I wasn't sure if writing it down, I would be able to translate it the way he says it.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure if it would go. So I'll leave that. I'll give that to you.
I did my best. So Buddy Garrity is pushing Coach for an answer on what's going on with Smash. And Coach says, "As I said, it's an internal matter." And Buddy responds, "Yeah, well, I am internal. If anybody's internal, I'm internal. I'm probably the most internal son of a bitch you've ever met in your life. Is that not right?"
Before that, sorry, there was a Buddy Garrity quote, another one that I didn't write down.
Yep.
So he says something along the lines of like, "Well, Coach Taylor, like, I'm not only disappointed that you didn't tell me about Smash, but frankly, I'm hurt." Like the way he says it is very like,
oh, poor
it's
Buddy.
Extremely insincere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got a bigger laugh out of that one than the internal stuff, but the whole moment is
frankly
full of Buddy Garrity's sleaze, which there's more to come.
Oh, this doesn't even like scratch the surface of the Buddy Garrity sleaze of this episode.
Buddy Garrity, who, by the way, has without fail hit a sleazeball moment of the week almost every episode, is reaching new lows in this episode.
Unimaginable new lows.
Unimaginable new lows.
Yes. But Matt interrupts this interaction between Coach and Buddy, and Coach welcomes the interruption. And Matt actually brings him some plays that he's drawn up based upon that hole in the defense that he saw in the game film. And Coach is kind of perturbed by this, kind of annoyed by the fact that Matt thinks he can draw up some plays and give them to Coach. Yeah.
And I kind of got the idea that maybe in a different situation, Saracen would have maybe gotten through to Coach with this.
But he's already perturbed.
Yeah, he's already perturbed with the press conference and Buddy Garrity trying to press him about Smash. And so he just doesn't want any further part of talking to anybody about football, whether it's this or not.
Right. I feel like if you're a coach, you welcome that sort of engagement from your quarterback, but not at this moment.
And Coach Taylor especially. I think, you talked to him 3 days ago. I think he would have been ready for that kind of conversation. But arguably a Goofus Maloofus moment of the week of Matt just picking his spots incredibly poorly. Off the field as usual. Yeah.
Bummer for Matt once again. Lyla's on her date with Ty Johnston, and Jason recruits Herc to help him spy on this date. They're kind of debating whether this is a date or, like a research paper thing.
Yeah. And Street pulls up his hood and is doing the
sinking down low in the old Dodge Dakota there. And so as they get ready to leave, Herc starts honking and yelling at Lyla, who is in the window of the restaurant, and Jason's trying to sink out of view, which might have worked except for the fact that his wheelchair is in the back of this Dodge Dakota. So she's pretty keyed into the fact that it is indeed Jason Herc outside of the restaurant spying on her. Tim wants Tyra back, so he goes to Buddy and kind of begs him, implores him to give Tyra's mom a job.
Yeah, Tyra asks him the favor and says it doesn't involve makeup sex
or anything. Or any type of sex whatsoever.
Sex, but she says, hey, you owe me big. Could you talk to Buddy Garrity about hiring Tyra's mom? And we reach a new Buddy Garrity low, I think, during that conversation. Because Tim goes and talks to Buddy. And Buddy's like, oh, you're reaching me at a really tough time. And also, like, for you to come in here after all that nonsense with my daughter.
Yeah.
But then, like, almost immediately turns around and calls Tim a good man, like, 3 times.
I was very confused by this.
This implies to me that he cares more about the Panthers than his own family. Like, his daughter went through hell because of this guy. I mean, because of her own choices.
Right. It was as much on Lyla as it was on Tim. But
from his perspective, obviously, he's going to blame Tim for all that.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, all we have to do is go back to last week. Right. Matt, those are people. You are my quarterback.
Those are just people. You're my quarterback.
So he is very quick to forgive Tim for all previous, just what's the word I'm looking for? For all previous trespasses against his own daughter. I was very confused by that. It was, I didn't even consider the fact that he was a Dillon Panther. I was like, boo, he changed his mind instantly.
Very bizarre. But he gets Tyra's mom the interview.
Yep. So she's got an interview. Smash goes back home and he does apologize to Mama Smash. Mama kind of comes around and says she wishes she could take the pressure off of Smash, that he could just kind of be a high school kid and not have to bear the burden of, raising the family out of poverty, basically, and all that. Getting a scholarship and, going pro and all that, and buying Mama a house. This is the first time on this rewatch that I noticed that Mama, when she says Brian, refers to him as Brian, which for whatever reason I feel like has become something that I quote from this series. Brian. Well, anytime anybody is named Brian.
We get a scene where Street is waiting in the Garrity parking lot as Buddy pulls up, and Buddy's like, oh, hey, Jason, what are you doing out here in the cold? While Lila's probably upstairs, and Street basically cuts off Buddy and says, I know where she is, but I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Why'd you set up that date with Ty Johnston? Or did you set up the date with Ty Johnston? And Buddy, after kind of tiptoeing around the subject, finally admits, yes. And Buddy's in an 8-foot hole and he just keeps digging at this point in the episode, because he, goes on about how, how are you going to raise a family? How are you going to have kids? And can you even have kids? And he just really gets nasty.
Which Jason wants, right? He's kind of egging him on. Come on, buddy, just give it to me. Just say what you want to say.
It's a very, troubling. And once again, like I said, Buddy we're already hating him. And this is, pretty early on in the episode, and he keeps getting worse, and he's going to continue to only get worse.
We're still not at rock bottom for Buddy in this episode. But I felt like the line that really summed up what Buddy was saying in this interaction was, I don't want Lyla to be a caregiver her whole life, son. And he said, Lyla, that girl loves you. She'd follow you into hell. Are you sure you want to lead her there?
Yeah.
Ooh. Which that's what Jason wanted to hear, right? He knew Buddy felt that way, and he just wanted him to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tyra, meanwhile, is giving her mom a ride to the job interview, and she blows a tire.
Yeah.
And we kind of see them both really struggling and fumbling with the process of changing a tire.
Yeah. And there's some stuff in between here, but let's just finish the tire scene. This becomes like an existential crisis for the Collette ladies. They're kind of fighting over it, and it becomes an argument on whether they need a man in their life or not, basically. Yeah. Whether they need Bob, whether they need any man. And in the process, Tyra tells her mom that, hey, I love you, but my worst fear is that I become you. Right? Mm. She says, we have to fix this tire ourselves, you know. So it's more than just a tire. The Saracens are sending Henry off back to Iraq, putting him on a bus, sending him off. Grandma once again is convinced, hey, you'll be able to see the game later on tonight in Iraq. If you just ask them right away, once you get to Iraq, they'll turn it on for you. And I gotta say, this scene with Matt Saracen's dad reminded me of Matt Saracen's music video with Taylor Swift.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right? Isn't he like in the service? Okay, first of all, what's Matt Saracen's name as an actor? Like a real person?
Zach Gilford.
Doesn't Zach Gilford play somebody in the service and he is like getting off the bus or getting on the bus? What song is it?
The song is Ours.
Yeah.
But I have not watched the music video for it in probably 10 years.
All right, let's pull it up. We're going to watch it.
There's a
we can
bonus
edit
track.
Some of it out.
It was a bonus track from Speak Now.
Wait, what was it called?
That's somehow Hours. That I don't know why she made a music video for it because it was a bonus track. It was only from the deluxe edition.
It was a good song, though.
Now. It is good. Yeah, no, it's just a weird choice. If you're going to do a bonus track, usually that doesn't get the music video, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're going to watch it.
Standard edition of the album.
And if it's worth keeping in, we'll keep it in. If it's not, we'll cut it out. All right, so we just watched the music video. I just watched the music video for Hours by Taylor Swift. And it is Zach Gilford, who plays Matt Saracen, who comes home from the airport. He is in uniform as a service, United States Armed Services member, and Taylor Swift is on a bus, and she goes to see him. So I feel like there are definitely parallels, definitely connections here. I don't know what the relationship is between Taylor Swift and Friday Night Lights. I feel like she's a fan. I don't know what the order is between when this music video was made. Maybe you can shed some light here.
So it was a bonus track from the deluxe edition of Speak Now, and Speak Now came out in late 2010.
Okay.
So the series would have been just about over at that point. So I've got to imagine she was either a fan or somebody who was casting for the video was a fan.
Okay.
So
you know what? I'm going to go out and just say Taylor Swift, fan of Friday Night Lights. We are both, I mean, you're the biggest Taylor Swift fan I know.
Sure.
I'm the second biggest Taylor Swift fan I know. And it only makes sense that Taylor Swift would also be a fan of Friday Night Lights. If we both like it. We both love Taylor Swift, and she must love Friday Night Lights.
This just turned into a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Sorry, fans of Friday Night Lights.
We are completely pivoting from here on out.
We're never talking about Friday Night Lights again. It's a Taylor Swift podcast now. My coworker actually just texted me last night. We can keep this in or not. I don't care.
Okay.
But my coworker, who actually is a friend of the show, he will be listening to this episode, so maybe we should keep it in. Chad Bondi, friend of the show.
Chad.
He texted me last night, and he was like, hey, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? And so I told him, he's like, I've got an 8-year-old daughter. I'm trying to like break the ice with her musically, and she loves Taylor Swift.
Oh.
So like, and I told him my favorite Taylor Swift song is All Too Well.
Yeah, that's not an 8-year-old song though.
It's not, no, but no. I was like, here's, what I would say. And he's like, oh, I listened to it with my wife, like really good. And I was like, yeah. And like, I obviously got pretty deep into it. And he was like, you break down Taylor Swift pretty well. And I was like, well, what can I say? I'm a fan.
Okay. So we got the Friday Night Lights podcast. Then we're going to do the OC podcast. And then I think after that, it's the Taylor Swift.
It's all Taylor
album
Swift,
breakdown. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
that was next 3 years of our life in podcast form worked out.
Our Friday nights for the next 3 years are booked up. Sorry, social life. We have podcasts to record.
Long after the pandemic is over.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I think there are connections here from this scene of Henry Sarason getting on the bus to Taylor Swift getting on the bus to meet Zach Gilford, who is in the armed services. So
I just realized something.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to give a shout out to Taylor Swift. Taylor, you're a friend of the show. Please come on. I just realized that we're recording episode 13 and she like loves the number 13.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some sort of fate going on here. I can feel it.
I think we're going to get Taylor Swift on, I'm going to say before episode 20. Before the first season of Friday Night Lights is done.
We're going to have episode 20 recorded by the time this episode airs.
Oh, that's true. It's fate. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else except fate. So
also, the episode is called Little Girl, I Want to Marry You. Angie, sorry, but Taylor Swift comes on the show and things happen.
Yeah. I don't think she'd blame you. It's fine.
I think, yeah. I think Angie knows that's my pass. My get out of jail free card is absolutely Taylor Swift.
Yeah. All right. Well, tune in about 2 years when we finish this podcast and the next podcast and we get to the Taylor Swift album song by song breakdown podcast.
And she'll probably have at least one more album out by that point.
Oh man. Yeah, we got content for days.
We got a lot of ground to cover.
Good. All right.
So let's get back to it.
Tami shows up. She interrupts Coach's meeting to tell Coach. Coach is not happy that she has interrupted this meeting, but she tells Coach that she is indeed going to join Mayor Odell's campaign, which Coach is not too happy about.
No, they have a really, really tense conversation. And I had a really hard time figuring out if Coach was actually like furious at Tami or actually like
Tami.
I could or actually just really respectful of how much his wife is willing to stand up to him and do her own thing. Sure. He kind of has a never a dull moment with you.
Right. They're like laughing and super sarcastic with each other, smiling, but fuming, it seems, possibly under the surface. Coach gets a little homophobic. Can we just say that? Did you feel that? Or is he just being real about the implications of a same-sex relationship in Dillon, Texas?
I thought he was just being a little bit real about, I think he had just concerns about how it would affect if stuff came to light in 2007.
Sure. At the minimum, not willing to stand up for Mayor Odell's right to have her.
That's true. Yeah.
To live her quote alternative lifestyle. But yeah, this is Texas we're talking about, and 2006 Texas. So yeah. So they're not necessarily on the same page. At least we can say that they're not on the same page with whether Tami should be helping Mayor Odell's campaign or not.
Yes. We get a cut to Herc and Street. And we talked earlier, and I've got a question for you to see if maybe you can answer this.
Yes.
We talked earlier about how Herc and Street were driving by and stalking Lyla's date.
Yeah.
But we get a scene with them. Their pickup is parked on the street.
Yeah.
They are in their wheelchairs outside of the pickup, rolling down the street with the pickup behind them with the headlights on.
Yeah.
How did they get out of the pickup with their wheelchairs in the back of the pickup.
Oh.
And into the wheelchairs. Phil's not there.
I've never thought of this.
Yeah. I thought it was like an oddly deliberate, like, scene for them to just be out in front of the pickup. We saw earlier their chairs are in the back. I don't know how they ended up in the position that they ended up in. But
I've never thought of this, but like you assume that they can get around by themselves because like I don't think it's definitely not in this episode, but I think later on in the series we see getting a vehicle that he can run himself. You know? And so there's got to be a way for him.
They can drive, and I imagine that's like via hand, but I don't know how they. And here's the thing: I know that there's handicapped vehicles that you can sit in the chair but like those chairs were in the back of the pickup,
right? Like
they would have to. I don't know. It just doesn't line up for me, but
that's a good. And like question.
I said, it seemed oddly deliberate. The pickup was parked on just like this weird empty street.
Yeah, it was a paved road. It's not like they were like out on some gravel road.
And then they were just like in front of the vehicle, just like rolling down the street in front of it.
And also I noticed in their quad rugby chairs, not their regular chairs, they were in their quad rugby chairs with like the metal wheels and stuff.
Did you notice that the license plate was like Rugby 9?
No.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Yeah, roll right on. Okay, so however they got there, in and out of their chairs aside, they're on a random paved road, drunk, and talking about Lyla. And Street says, I've been thinking about how I've been selfish and not thinking about her, and that by being with me, little by little, over time, being with me is going to define her. Which I thought was a pretty profound line and very introspective.
From Jason Street, who does not listen to Bob Dylan or draw pictures.
or watch the 1940s French version of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And so he kind of fills Herc in on, what Buddy Garrity said to him when he was being like ultra honest. And Herc tells Jason that he shouldn't make the decision based on Buddy Garrity's opinion because there's going to be a million Buddy Garritys in his life. So basically he should just flip Buddy Garrity the bird and make the decision on his own. So, I think things are still very much up in the air on what Jason is going to decide to do. We don't know if he's, taking Buddy Garrity's word and realizing that Lyla is better off without him, or if he is going to, just accept the fact that Lyla loves him, he loves Lyla, they're going to end up together. Things are very much up in the air. And, boy, are we going to revisit this in a little bit.
Yeah.
I was not ready for the end of this episode.
Yes, we are. Well, meanwhile, it's game time.
Game time.
And it is a real bear cat.
Yeah, 0-0, fourth quarter.
It's 0-0 in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes remaining.
Yep.
And Coach calls Saracen over to the sidelines. It's 4th and long. And Saracen says, hey, listen, Coach says, hey, I looked at the plays you've been drawing up. Do you think they'll work? And Saracen says, oh, yeah, the safeties, like when you do this, like the safeties don't move. And there's an ocean basically there for, open receivers. And Mac and Coach both say, nice try, kid. It's that way by design. Those are the fastest safeties in the state.
Yeah.
They'll get to them but still Coach is like, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah. Saracen believes it'll work. Yeah.
And Saracen finds his man, Tim Riggins. And we get a touchdown, and Panthers win. And for the second week in a row, they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, we celebrate all over again. And of note, I don't believe it was the last play of the game, unless something else happened.
It was not. There was still like 8 minutes left.
So
by the time that
I believe this is only the second game of the season that does not come down to the last play of the game. But Panthers win. They're going to the playoffs. The after party is at Buddy's car dealership.
Yeah, the celebration dance.
I don't understand what these parties are that Buddy is regularly holding.
Yeah, one, it's like, I don't know. And it's like, I just have a lot of questions about the timeline, because then, as we'll find out in a second, Tyra and her mom finally show up.
Yeah, they're
just getting there, which
I don't think we mentioned that when they had the flat tire, it was on the way to the interview for the Buddy Garrity receptionist job.
We did mention that. Yeah,
we did. Okay, so I'm assuming the football game started at 7 and probably got over like 9:30. And I'm assuming that her interview was during business hours.
Yeah.
Was probably before 6:00. So they're 3.5 at least hours late. But they show up.
Yeah, they show up to make it to the dance. And I had a hard time. I've been trying to figure out Dillon for a while, as we know. There was an episode a few weeks back with Tim Riggins drunk at 7. And remember, there was a confusion with me about which 7, if it was AM or PM.
Yeah.
During homecoming week. And there's that party that, like, it seemed to be that Tim Riggins was walking around drunk and nobody cared. And I noticed somebody in the background who had like a red Solo cup and was in like a Panthers Letterman jacket. And I was like, I understand there's some like lax places in these United States.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Platte, South Dakota is a pretty lax town, but like if you broke training rules, like you were in deep.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like, we'll get back to this, but after the moment with Tyra and Buddy and Tyra's mom, Tyra and her mom were like, let's go get drunk.
Yes, absolutely. Tyra's mom wants to celebrate by getting drunk with her 15-year-old daughter.
So yeah, I don't know what is going on with these high school, like these pep rallies that are literally for high school football games, but alcohol seems to be not only readily available to literally everybody, but also like almost encouraged.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I think it's the whole thing that we've talked about before of these actors are like mid-20s and we're basically just supposed to forget that they're actually supposed to be 15 years old.
Right.
It blurs the lines of, are they near 30 or are they teenagers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Tyra and her mom finally make it to Buddy's place of business, which this is another point of contention that I don't understand, because it's a celebration for the winning of the game, and now the Panthers are going to the playoffs, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
But like, was this already planned? Like, were Tyra and her mom just planning on showing up whenever? Like,
10 p.m.
What if they showed up at like 8:30 while the game's still going on? Are they just going to post up and hope Buddy shows up? Maybe. What if the Panthers lose? Like,
well, they should know that Buddy Garrity is definitely not going to be there at 8:30.
Yeah. Like, I feel like at some point they had to have just been like, well, let's not bother. But they make it. Yeah, and Tyra steps in and says, hey, listen, Buddy, we were late. I'm apologizing. And Buddy says, hey, we filled the position.
Yeah, sorry. In fact, he actually says, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that the interview was even set up.
Yeah, position's been filled until
Tyra's mom comes in to Buddy's view, and Buddy is ready to give an interview right there and then, and he does.
Yeah. Let's go back to my office and we'll have an interview right now.
So she gets the job on the spot.
On the spot.
Tyra is asking her, what kind of benefits? What's the pay? And Tyra's mom's like, we didn't talk about any of that. So I really wish I could be on a fly on the wall of Buddy Garrity's office during the that particular secretary interview. Also, I feel bad for the girl that had previously been
fired. Right.
Presumably, we don't gender discriminate. It could have been a man.
Right. But by the way, we decided to go another direction. And that direction is Mama Colette. Yeah. So at the party, Coach asked Mama Smash's permission to steal away Brian for an hour or so.
Yep. Promises he'll get him home.
Yeah. So they kind of talk the whole steroid situation out at a diner. You know, the Coach says Smash has to get clean and do some drug testing. Let's try and figure out how this whole situation coming up was set up. Was this some masterful move by Coach?
100%.
Okay.
I absolutely am in the boat. I believe that Coach knew what he was doing, set this whole thing up, and to me is, even though it's kind of crapping on the guy at the diner, maybe the most overall inspirational Coach moment.
Incredible. Okay, so here's what happens. They're at this diner. Coach is talking to Smash. You got to get clean. You got to do drug testing. And then you see that guy back there cooking burgers. Washing dishes, flipping burgers. Yeah, he was the star quarterback over at Westerby.
Number 6.
He was number 6 on Grady Hunt's list. You remember Grady Hunt from a few episodes ago. Smash was obsessed with getting on that list. It didn't turn out for that guy. He only made it to sophomore year of college. So, you know, what does Grady Hunt know? You got to listen to the people you love. You got to listen to the people you trust. So apparently Coach knew the work schedule of this.
Maybe he drove by before the celebration.
Absolutely masterful move by Coach here.
Absolutely. I think Coach has his connections, though. I think maybe he could have made a call. I bet he could have called that diner and said, listen, it's Coach Taylor. Is so-and-so working tonight? Like, you think about the man up in the crow's nest back in episode 3, Eyes Wide Open.
Yeah, right.
I think...
not even necessarily is former quarterback for Westerby working. Like, hey, can you call in this guy?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a little humiliating and at the expense of the
a little bit
Westerby quarterback. But gets the point across to Smash that it's not all just being on that list. Grady Hunt doesn't necessarily know. You gotta stick with the people you love and trust.
Very great Coach moment, even if it's at the expense of. And maybe, you know what? Maybe that guy wasn't number 6 on. Maybe Coach was just picking a guy, flipping burgers and washing dishes.
Making it all up.
Either way.
That's almost even more impressive.
Yeah. So either way, I think it's a great Coach moment.
Yeah. Last scene of the episode. Boy, things. Okay. I did not see this coming. But Lyla and Jason talking outside of Lila's house. It really seems like Jason is about to dump Lyla.
Yeah, even Lyla says, like, are you about to break up with me? Like, please don't break up with me.
Yeah. So Jason is kind of talking about the conversation he had with Herc and how much he admires Herc because he didn't just become, like, you know, defined by his handicap. He actually became better than he was before. And Jason, here's the quote. Jason says, and I think that if I could maybe be more like him, maybe I wouldn't be such a bad guy to be around. And what he would do if he was in my shoes. Lyla says, he'd dump me and go after Tyra. Jason says, no, he wouldn't. And Tyra says, yeah, he would. He told me that. Which is pretty good.
That's good.
But anyway, I don't know. Maybe there's more to say about the whole process, but basically it ends with Jason asking Lyla to marry him.
Yeah. He says, little girl, I want to marry you.
Does he actually say that?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
In theory, he does.
I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio pointing.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't actually say that. Like I've said before, I've watched this season at least 5 times. I did not remember this, and I was like, whoa.
I did. I absolutely remember. Like, I even just looking at the title, I was like, oh, yeah, this is the one where Street proposes. And I think maybe that's what gave it away. I think if that wouldn't have been the title, I wouldn't know.
Sure. Yeah, I was taken pretty off guard. But, yeah, that we're left with that as the kind of cliffhanger. And we don't get an answer from Lyla, but I don't know. She seems pretty positively about it. So, and I believe that is the end of episode 13.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yes.
All right, we are back. We're going to dig into some of these characters. I think it's worth mentioning right off the bat here. We've had a very conspicuous absence by one of our favorite. I think I'd say one of my favorites. If not the favorite characters here.
Yeah, we have had a noticeable lack of Landry in these last 2 episodes. And although, like, in episode 11, right, was when he was still coaching or tutoring Tim Riggins, which was...
Yeah, played a fairly prominent role.
Yeah, a Landry-heavy episode. So I don't know if I don't know what happened, but he will be back. Don't worry, Landry's got a lot left to do.
Will he ever... do you think, like, he was definitely a lesser paid actor, and so maybe they just only had so much that they could give Landry to do based on how much they were paying him or something. I don't know.
That's possible. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, we miss you. We miss you, Landry. Come back soon.
Yes, please.
How about Smash? Things kind of the jig is up.
Yeah.
A little bit for Smash here.
Pretty Smash heavy episode. He gets caught finally with the steroids. He has
with the needle.
His mom finds his needle. And
why did Movie Dude 1 just specify the needle? Because it's just clearly like a Ziploc bag full of like vials of steroids and syringes and needle.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Movie Dude 1. I'm not ready to dive into the brain of Movie Dude 1 at all.
Okay, fair enough.
But we Smash has a... I think if it's anybody's episode, it's Smash's episode because we see him right away get caught. Yeah. He, gets kicked out of his home, comes back, reconciles. He's got the weird headshot on the wall. It's a Smash-centric episode, and we see him, start to come back, and we do really believe in him by the end of the episode, I think. Yeah. He'll make the right call.
Yeah, he's turning things around for sure. Trying to do right by Mama, trying to do right by Coach. I'm curious to see if he will, return all the church offering money that he used to buy steroids. I don't remember that being part of the show, but boy, that would go a long ways.
That'd be a very big move.
Yeah,
by Smash. He's going to have to put in extra hours at the Alamo Freeze, which I don't know if he's even still employed there.
I think he's done there.
We haven't even seen Sarah Sunder working there.
Yeah. What's going on there? But, so Smash is turning a corner. Hope it's going to really turn around for him.
Yes.
Tami, once again, being kind of singled out for her, I don't know, she's just a very capable person. Mayor Riddell sees that.
Yeah. I mean, she has really benefited, I think, from her life in Dillon.
Yeah.
From going from in 13 episodes, just the coach's wife, to being offered the job of guidance counselor, to now being a member of a political campaign.
Yeah.
People love Tami, and so do I.
Absolutely. However, to kind of push back on that a little bit, there is a part that we didn't mention before where Coach kind of says, like, are you sure she's not just asking you to be a part of this because you're the coach's wife, and that has some weight around here?
Right. That's also true.
Yeah. But I think it's more than that. You know,
I do too.
If she wasn't Tami Taylor, I'm not sure, even if she was the coach's wife, she'd be getting that kind of job offer. So once again, Tami kind of going out on her own, doing her own thing, exerting her independence. Jason Street, he's really wrestling with some heavy stuff here.
Yeah, he's as pretty much always. He's got a lot on his plate with trying to figure out what he's gonna do with Lyla, and he's got, seemingly, for somebody who 13 episodes ago had the world in his hands.
Yeah, right.
Is now had the world really turn his back on him. Lost his best friend, lost his girlfriend, got her back, but now even his girlfriend's dad is working against him. It's a tough time for Jason Street.
Yeah. And there's a lot of kind of competing voices, I feel like, in Jason's life. How is he going to handle this situation that he's in with being paralyzed? Is he going to kind of go the Buddy Garrity route of like, well, I can't really, give Lyla a meaningful, fulfilling life. I'm not sure I can give anyone a meaningful, fulfilling life. So I'm just going to, fade into the background and feel sorry for myself? Or is he going to take the Herc route and use it to grow, to make himself better, and, to really rise above the whole situation? So yeah, at a crossroads for sure. And he definitely chose his path.
He certainly did. He took a path that I think, having grown up in a small town, you and I know too well.
Yeah. Maybe if we just get engaged, we'll figure it out.
After the episode was done, Angie asked me, she's like, do you remember the show on MTV? And it was called like Underage and Engaged or something like that. And she was like, that's what this reminds me of. And I was like, I don't remember that show at all.
You didn't remember
no,
MTV reality show?
I never see. Here's the thing: I liked the dating shows, like the competition dating shows that were like. I love Next. Next is like one of my favorite shows of all time. I am absolutely obsessed with Next to this day.
Right.
I like marathon Next every now and then, but and like Room Raiders, I like shows like that.
Yeah,
they were like half-hour competition, whatever. I never dug the like Real World, Teen Mom,
right? Presumably
underage and engaged, where it's like following these people's lives. Jersey Shore, like I never got into that stuff. I never got into. I'm not trying to follow people's lives for more than 15 minutes at a time with Next. What I want is that
literally the most surface level you could possibly be at with Next. Teen Mom, though, I mean, you could run into like the most famous teen mom just around Sioux Falls, right?
Yeah. I think the Vermilion area, I thought, but maybe she's in Sioux Falls now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
that's maybe after we do Friday Night Lights and the OC and
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift will do the Next podcast. we cover an episode of Next each week.
I want to say that you'd have to find a new co-host for that, but I think I'd be on board.
By that point, presumably the pandemic's over, and if we could get together to watch the episodes of Next, I think we could make it work.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's wrap things up here with Tyra and her mom.
Yeah. So they have an important, I think the last 2 episodes have been very Colette family centric, which we didn't get really at all prior to this. The only real Tyra storyline is she's dating Tim, she's not dating Tim.
Right.
Here comes greasy oil guy Connor. And that's it. So
right, yeah. I don't think we even
the party subplot, the big party in the gravel pits, or whatever.
Yeah, we didn't even see her mom until last episode.
Yeah,
episode 12.
We've seen Lyla grow a lot as a character in
Tyra. Yep.
I'm sorry, Tyra. We've seen Tyra grow a lot as a character.
Yep.
And really gain a lot of depth, and we really understand where she's from and where she comes from. And I am growing to like Tyra more and more with each of these episodes that are centered on her. Her mom is definitely she's had a life.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for her. I do feel bad for her, not
Absolutely.
almost.
Yeah.
But I guess where the almost feel bad for her comes from is the now she's going to be dealing with Buddy Garrity, and I don't remember where this little subplot goes, so I'm interested to see. I don't recall at all the Buddy and Tyra's mom storyline.
Well, so buckle up, my friend, because it gets pretty wild.
I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Colette family, we're getting to know them. They're a rough bunch, but we love them. So that's our kind of main characters for the week. Let's come back and we'll give out our awards. All right. We have our weekly awards for the Reliving the Lights podcast. We're going to start out, as we always do, with Coach Taylor. Coach had a bad week last week.
He did.
It was not good for Eric. How are we feeling about Coach this week?
He has a lot on his plate this week, and I think he handles it pretty masterfully. Especially with that last scene in the diner. For that scene alone, I almost have to give him an 8.
Yeah. He was struggling with the Smash situation in general. Like, okay, there's obviously a right and a wrong here. It gets a little gray. You know what I mean? Like, there's a black and a white, but at the same time, like, okay, do you ruin your own life? Do you ruin Smash's life? So that was a little iffy. But man, that diner move, pulling that out of his back pocket, impressive. How did he even plan that out? How did he make that happen? Was that luck? Was that pulling strings? I don't know.
Here it is. I've got it for you.
Okay.
The kid flipping burgers and or wash dishes at the diner.
Yeah.
Remember Coach's secret family? It's his son.
Oh, wow.
2 layers.
Okay. Well, then I feel like it's negative points for Coach because we're bringing in the second family.
Okay, you're right. All right, we'll cut out the second family. But
all right,
because I want to give him a good high rating because that was good.
Yeah. You said 8. I said 6. But honestly, yeah, that diner move was really on another level. So let's call it a 7, but a strong 7.
Strong 7. I like it.
All right, that leads us to the Julie Taylor hate-o-meter. I feel bad. I really want Amy Teagarden to come on this podcast, but how are we going to do that when we...
Well, here's the thing is, I think Amy understands separating the art from the artist, and she knows that. I think I think even she knows that Julie by the end of the series becomes really something.
Yeah.
So I don't think she'll hold that against us too much.
You're right.
Julie doesn't really have a whole lot to do this episode.
No.
I'm going to call it just a flat 0. I don't even remember anything she did in this episode.
No, I just did a search in my notes for Julie, and it only came up once, and that is Grandma Saracen trying to get some Smash info out of Julie. So, yeah, it's neutral. I mean, Julie doesn't give up the goods, so maybe that's good for her, but I don't think she actually knows what's going on. So.
Give her a negative 0.5.
Negative 0.5. Yeah. All right. Once again, Tim's not drinking any beer. Tim was barely in this episode. So
yeah, I really think I know for sure that there's going to be a triumphant return of the Big Rig Beer Tally.
Yeah, he picks it up at some point,
but I don't remember how soon.
Yeah. That brings us to the Buddy Garrity Sleazeball Movie of the Week.
We are in no shortage of Buddy Garrity Sleazeball movies.
Once again, the second week in a row.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Well,
okay, here are some options. Buddy sets up his teenage daughter on a date with a college boy so that she will hopefully forget about her paralyzed boyfriend.
Not only those things, but he sets up the date at the New Oriental place.
Are we combining that into one item?
Yes.
Okay.
Buddy is in a 15-foot hole at this point and still digging.
Buddy. That's literally like maybe third scene of the episode, Buddy. Yeah.
If you thought he hit rock bottom last week.
Oh, no.
No. The soil is still soft, my friends. Buddy Garrity constantly trying to coerce answers about Smash.
Yep.
Out of both Coach and Tim Riggins. I forgot during that conversation where
You're right.
Which is another Sleazeball Move of the Week candidate where he brings up Tim's past with Lyla, but then ends up still calling him a good man several times. At the end of the conversation, in between calling him good man for the first and second time, he is like, I got one more question. What's going on with Smash? And Tim's like, I don't know. Nobody knows. Which, like, if anybody's not going to know, it's probably Tim Riggins. What's going on with Smash's personal life, because as we know, they do not like each other.
No. Except when it comes to hating on Voodoo. But
yes. But yeah, that was another, as we said, Buddy Garrity Sleazeball Movie of the Week. So we've got setting the daughter up with the date, the racial slur, constantly trying to coerce people into giving him information about Smash, trying to gaslight Coach with the frankly I'm hurt line, caring more about Tim Riggins than his family because he's on the Panthers.
Yeah. Telling Jason that he doesn't want his daughter to be a caregiver her whole life and that she would follow him into hell, but is that what he really wants for her? I mean, that's being real, but still, pretty rough.
And then finally creeping on Tyra's mom and giving her the job based on her
attractiveness.
Yes.
Which I feel like is the Buddy Garrity Sleazeball Move of the week. Right?
Yeah, that's it. He was on a downward trajectory and he hit his lowest point in this episode. He just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So he, at this point,
potentially, he really screwed up some other person's life, right? Like they thought they had a job and he's going to call them and be like, hey, sorry, we decided to go a different direction.
Yeah. Also, we know Buddy's a creep for sure.
Yeah.
What did the other girl look like? Because here's the thing.
I never thought of that.
Tyra's mom, like for a woman of 50, is attractive, sure. But like, how many, if you're a creep, if you've got like theoretically like 18-year-old girls, applying for this job.
There were hundreds of applicants.
Presumably a pretty deep pool. And Buddy's already a creep. I don't know, maybe he's got a taste for the I guess women his age, I guess. Like
yeah.
I don't know. Which I guess good for him for not being a pedophile or something.
Yeah. There's a lot of unanswerable questions about this hiring process that,
because I imagine if like I said, if looks came into effect for immediately hiring Tyra's mom,
yeah,
it had to have come into effect for the other 100 applicants. It's not like he saw Tyra's mom and was like, like well, suddenly he was like, wait a minute, I could hire an attractive woman. I didn't even think of that before.
Yeah, that's really confusing to me. That's really confusing. I'm not going to get too far into it. I think if we try to get further into Buddy's mind, it's not going to be beneficial.
It's only going to bring up more questions.
Yeah. Any notable music cues? I didn't have anything.
I did. There was the song that played where during the Matt's dad gets on the bus scene. It was a song, I Shazammed it. It was called Figure by Richard Buckner.
By Richard Buckner.
It was pretty good. I liked it. It was very, it was just, clearly like just a dude and acoustic guitar type of song. But
deep cuts and the deep tracks quite often from the Friday Night Lights soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that brings us to quote of the episode. What are our options this week?
I only wrote down one.
Okay.
And it was, honey, if that's Buddy Garrity, I swear to God, I will go down there with your new deer rifle.
Yeah. I also had that one as an option. I then had Coach and Buddy's interaction on Buddy being internal. As I said, it's an internal matter. Buddy, yeah, well, I am internal. If anybody's internal, I'm internal. I'm probably the most internal son of a bitch you've ever met in your life. Is that not right? So I had that, and then I had Jason and Lyla. Jason says, and I think that if I could be more like Herc, maybe I wouldn't be such a bad guy to be around. And what Herc would do if he was in my shoes, Lyla says, he'd dump me and go after Tyra. Jason, no, he wouldn't. Tyra, yeah. Or Lyla says, yeah, he would. He told me. But we both had the deer rifle line, and I feel like that's the clear winner here.
I think that's the one.
All right. So that leaves nothing else but to rate the episode for this week. Yeah. Where are we landing?
I'm going to give this one a strong 8.
Yep. 100%. This is an 8. This is as entertaining of an episode as we've had thus far. Things are getting a little hairy as far as Buddy Garrity is concerned. We had the bomb dropped at the very end of the episode with Jason proposing to Lyla, which is crazy. Strong 8 for sure. So
very good episode.
I'm right with you there. This is one of those episodes where if we would have been watching this in your basement on the original run, we 100% would have hit next episode.
Yeah. If it's 2:30 in the morning, we're watching one more.
Yep. Forget it. We're going to keep going. So I guess we'll have to wait until next week.
Unfortunately, dear listeners, you'll have to wait a week to find out what we thought of episode 14. But
yep. I'm excited to check it out and to discuss it with you. And once again, if you're following along, you can be watching on IMDb TV as the man who named the podcast, Jimmy, pointed out to us today. It is available on Hulu. We might have said that once already.
I think we have mentioned it on the show before, but it's always friendly to always helpful to remind. I've got a buddy who I told him about this podcast, and he was like, I binge stuff too hard. So I was like, wait 10 weeks. So he might be
yeah, right.
Yeah. Listening along while finally watching it like weeks from now. So
yeah, that works. But yeah, we're glad you're along for the journey. Thank you. If you feel like it, maybe reach out to Amy Teagarden and just say, hey, you should go on the Reliving the Lights podcast.
Yes.
I don't know if we want to make a concerted effort at some point to...
It doesn't necessarily. I mean, I think it would be funniest if it was Amy Teagarden just because of the Twitter interaction that happened 9 years ago.
Yeah, right.
But really, any Friday Night Lights cast member we'd love to have on, or Movie Dude One, or anybody involved in the production of the show, really.
That'd be fantastic. But regardless, we're just grateful that you are along with us, dear listener, as you said. So we will see you next week for episode 14. We're going to find out what happens with the marriage proposal. We're going to find out what happens with Mrs. Collette and Buddy Garrity. And it's going to be entertaining no matter.
Yes, I'm excited.
All right. See you next week.
Yes.
Let's touch God this time, boys. Let's touch God.